Hey, hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the wheat field, y'all. You know how we do. It's the morning time. It's time to call the spirit in. It's time to activate. You know what I mean? It is time to get flowing. I hope y'all had a good night, that y'all rested well. I definitely was in some other worldly kind of thing. I feel like I was in Earth 2.0. Like I had a whole full day. I went to work and did family stuff and everything in my dreams. I feel like I'm just getting ready to do it all over again today. So we definitely are calling on the spirit to give us a extra dose of energy, an extra energetic burst today. Cause we pushed out, we did some service yesterday, y'all. We did some service, and we feel like we served all night in the spiritual realm. Yeah, one of them nights before where you just feel like, thank you, Spirit, for being here. Let's just call in the Spirit right now, y'all. Cause as we flowing, thank you, Spirit, for being with us. Thank you, Source, for being with us. Our source material that connects us all, that binds us and unites us all. Help us to come into peace and harmony. Help us to dig into those good tenets of love today, that empathy and sympathy and compassion, that patience. Ooh, give us a dose of patience on this day, Father. Yes, thank you. Thank you. We welcome you. We welcome you, Spirit of joy. Yes, we welcome you. Come on in, activate. Like, let's wake up for the day. Spirit of might, come on in. Let's wake up for the day. Yes, the infinite intelligence, come on in. Let's wake up for the day. Woo! That comfort and counsel, that compassion, the spirit of compassion. Yes. Come on in and let's wake up for the day. Let's get these engines going, y'all. Let's just take a couple of deep breaths. I need a few. I got to get some oxygen up to this brain here. When I tell y'all, I feel like we stayed in the spirit pushing out messages, and then I felt like I was working in the spirit all night, and we back up again. Has anybody ever felt like, I just, whoa, and it's just the start of the day. We ain't even got this thing going yet, and I feel like I need a nap. Okay, just saying. So we're just gonna take a couple of few. Just gonna go. I'm gonna uncross my legs, get into this nice little position. Just yeah, y'all. Okay. We got some oxygen flowing. I can feel the spirit coming in. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Where we going? We're going to check out some chakra. We're going to get some balance. But I tell y'all, we got to get these energy centers in alignment. Yes, baby. Yes. How y'all doing, Weed? How y'all doing? I told y'all today, honey, it is starting off. I don't know what time you're going to get this here message, but whatever time you get it, I'm telling this is what's going on when we delivered it. Right? And because you might be feeling a little low on themselves too. We was talking about like how folks be running that video phone all while you on red. You be talking about something. Oh girl, hold on, I gotta put my phone on the charger. We could keep on talking. I gotta charge it while it's on, girl. My phone about to die, but hold on, let me sit it right here and sit it all up so you can talk to them while it's charging at the same time. We be running low. We don't be taking time to unplug and just tune in to self. Let it sit there on the charger for 1 minute and go run you a bath and take a little spiritual bath and take care of you for a minute. And let that thing over there just, get some little juice on it. It's okay. I mean, it's all right. Unplug for a little while and let that thing charge up while you charge up. Yes, yes, spirit, I feel you. Okay. Yeah, we got a victim card here, y'all. Let's see. I don't know how that feels. Green, it says growth to me. Dragons are wisdom. Acorns are like abundant. The fall leaves, right? Is somebody keeping themselves in a victim mentality? That's kind of like what it feels, right? Do you want this spirit? Yes. Release. Oh, y'all see how spirit did that? Release, spirit said. Maybe that's what I was feeling like, that victim mentality. It was feeling like, yeah, spirit is touching my cheek. Thank you. Uh, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Victim is in the green section. Growth, grief, deception. Victim. Oh, look at that. It's the first one, y'all. My finger flipped right to it. Did y'all see that? I was flipping on the other page, but my thumb was right here on the right page. No joke. Spirit want us to clue in on this one, okay? Yes, my cheek. Green Acorn is actually starting a fable. He was promised to stop billing, right? But in the end, he says his best work never made it to the final edit. Okay. So now he doesn't even have a speaking part. He feels betrayed by the dragon, but Green Acorn is not resentful. Being in a fable landed him a job on display at a museum. He insists he is content, but we can see denial and underlying anger. Yeah, releasing denial, underlying anger. You know, maybe you feel like you worked on something. You know how sometimes, when you get moved away from something, it's really a rejection for your protection kind of thing, is what I was feeling. Like, this person didn't get they just due in the first, somebody asked them to start in something, like do something. Yeah, spirit is touching my nose. And somebody asked you to do something, like maybe called you in, like they sought you out, right? And then didn't do right by you in the end, or whatever, you know what I mean? And you don't feel like you didn't get your just due or your just credit, like they did you wrong in some kind of way, like they asked for you, and then they didn't honor you, or whatever the case may be, and you feel slighted or wronged by that. Like, you may have gotten an opportunity, you done moved on, you didn't did your thing or whatever, and you doing your thing, and you kind of have that, oh yeah, I moved on, but I didn't. You haven't really moved on quite yet. Yeah, that's it, because something just was like right there in this part of my throat. Yeah, get a little sip. We got to. You see what my cup say, y'all? Right, my coffee. Work that out. Yeah, so somebody like that's what I feel like. Uh, Not a woe is me, but it's not passive aggressive, but it's like that. The victim story, where you could tell how you overcame and you were a survivor, but it's really so like people could be like, oh yeah, look how, whatever. So spirit is saying release that, because even at the end of the day, you still telling the same story about you, right? Spirit is saying you need to release that, because at the end of the day, it's like passive aggressive victimizing of self, right? You're not a victim, you're a survivor, you're an overcomer, right? And your story is, everybody has a testimony and everybody can testify, but it's really like how you are feeling about it. Do you still feel victimized? Do you still feel like, have you released the feeling that this person has wronged you, or not understanding how that rejection or dishonor that happened set you up for your blessing? You know what I mean? Like, we hear people all the time where they be like, oh, if this person didn't, push me away, if I didn't get that job, I wouldn't be over here doing this, that, and the other. Like, that's the true thing. And to dig into that truth and like settle into it, like letting go, like what didn't happen or who didn't honor you, even though they asked for your support, they may have, sought you out, and then didn't appreciate it or honor it at the same time. Spirit is touching my nose again, like it's got to be right on point. So again, Spirit says release that victimizing of self. Like, you don't have to prove that you're your own hero, and you don't need other people to know that you saved yourself. You know what I mean? If you do want them to know that you saved yourself, it's because you want them to know that they too can save themselves, right? Like, it's for the good, Pull back, Spirit says. Spirit says, no ego. Like there is a such thing as being an egocentric victim, is what spirit is saying. Like you can, because the ego part of it is where the story comes back to how you had to, um, yeah, this woe is me part. And then I came through. And everybody has challenges, right? And it's never like, um, never to be dismissive or, or diminishing is what I'm trying to say. Because we all go through things and it be serious, it be heavy. But the thing about it is like, the Most High brings us through. Like source always brings us through. Like you always find that source material, that tenacity, that perseverance, tenacity, courage, resolve, devotion, commitment to press through, and you get through, right? Even if the most you can do is just lay in bed and wait till tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like you made it. You didn't do anything like unalive or anything like that, right? You made it. Because sometimes all you can do is just stay still. Is just be still, right? Like that's all you need to do. And yeah, come on, spirit. Where are we going here after this? Thank you. This is the light worker. Know that the light is working in you. And the source will, it's always there. And, people can see, just be your beautiful self. Is this one you want? No, which one do you want? This? Yes. Mirror, who or what is triggering you. So maybe you need to release whatever is triggering you. Right? You gotta, maybe you don't see that this story still triggers you, right? Because this person that card says, the energy of it is like maybe you're fake content, right? Like it seems to be all good, or you seem like you projecting to folks that you good, you over it, like it's not bothering you no more. But spirit says it is, and it's coming out with how you project. Yeah, inner temple devotion, tune into the port of your heart, like go into your heart, because there's something in there. Spirit, please, goodness. Spirit says release some guilt. So maybe you feel guilty about something. I'm not for sure what that is, but maybe you feel guilty. So tune into the portal of your heart. There's something in there that you think that you kind of present or reflect out to everybody else that it's over, it's resolved, and you're not resolved. It's still in there. It's still festering, and it's coming out in your story and how you talk to people. Is this, you want this? Yeah. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? You are diminishing yourself in some kind of way. And we talked about balance. We've been talking about balance and proper boundaries. Like, thank you, Spirit. Whether you are balanced in all your areas, like looking at all your places and getting to center, right? Like that point of unbiasedness, right? That's a good. Oh, thank you, Spirit. To release, to do this right here, work. You need to get to a place of unbiased, right? It's like I don't have. I'm unbothered. I'm unbothered by it. Like I don't feel no kind of way. Really, I don't feel no, or it's like truly like it's whatever. It's not like I'm just saying it's whatever to be like, yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, it's whatever. Because that's how it be, right? That energy still be there and be like, oh, it's whatever I did. But you still be having that feeling, that emotion, that intensity that's in your gut when you feel like that about a certain thing that you saying that it's whatever about is really not whatever. It's really not. If you trying to convince somebody that it's whatever, it's not whatever. When you have to use all them words and that expression to say it's whatever, it's not. When you get to a point where you be like, oh yeah, such and such, yeah, you know, I don't care. Well, I hope they are, you know, oh, you know, yeah, more moving on, you know. I really don't, you know, and just, yeah, and that's how you know for real you get into a point where Spirit says, where are you being called to journey to? I'm feeling like, again, right now, the journey is about you going inside. Do you want any more cards from this deck? Okay. Longing for home, belonging. The original light workers is on the bottom. So maybe this was the type of connection, you know, or you're looking for a connection, or you use this story to connect with people. You know what I mean? Like it's a way for you to connect. You know, oftentimes things that happen become a theme or a motto in people's life, right? It's like you become almost typecasted. You know how you people actors like good actors, but then they play this one role and nobody could see them as anything else. It's like Tom Hanks only being seen as Forrest Gump, right? But he's not, because he knows how to rewrite his story self, right? He knows how to rewrite. So you don't see Tom Hanks as just Forrest Gump. You can see him as a castaway, and you can see him, you know, in Big when he was young, and you can see him when Harry met Sally. I think that was him. I don't know. That might be the wrong dude. Anyway, you could see him in different movies, right? Again, other comedians like uh unfortunately, when we think Tyler Perry, we think Medea. That's almost typecasting, right? He's creative in terms of the shows and productions that he puts out. It's like you know, a range of production. But in terms of his acting, I can only think of Alex Cross, right? And I loved him in Alex Cross. He was just so much more depth, and you can see much more of his talent. But you know, Medea, I mean, he got that, you know. But when you think that, that's what you think. And sometimes you think that's typecast, and people only see themselves in one type of role. So when they tell who they are, they say this kind of victimizing story that it's not, it's like a victim, but hero at the same time, right? It's mixed, right? So to release that really, because you're still holding a sentiment about it, and you have to get to a place where it's balanced. It just was, you know, it is no longer the is. So releasing the emotion about it in the present will pull your body in that space out of it, because again, universe and does not understand, you know, past, present. It doesn't, I mean, past, future, yes, present, because everything is now. Thank you, Spirit, pull me back, you know, make sure I'm getting it out right. Thank you. So universe does not understand past or future. It only knows now. So when we're talking about these things or experiences, you have to really be mindful about the emotion that you are experiencing, the words that you're using, how you are telling a story. Again, we would go back to those earlier sessions when we were talking about deep cellular healing and rewriting the future. You have to be, we need to be mindful and cognizant, because you don't have to do, you know what I mean? It's free will, you know, but for the good in our highest selves, you want to be rewriting those words. You want to be restating it, changing the emotion, the feeling, not well, working through the emotion and the feelings that's still attached to that, so that you can and be mindful that your feelings aren't your work, your thoughts. So when you speak it out, you're speaking it out from a place of truth and getting to unbiasedness, like, or at least again, say the truth about it, right? Like, uh this would, I was rejected for this, or I got this opportunity, it didn't work out, and now I'm here. You know, I'm upset about it still, and I'm working through those feelings. It's okay. I mean, or you don't even have to say all of that, or maybe just don't even talk about it unless it's necessary. Like, it's not your narrative. It's not, you know, the description of you. You know what I mean? It's not what you, there's so much more about you to express in terms of who you are, that those things that happen to you don't need to be your story. I guess is what Spirit is saying. Thank you. Yeah. So where are you being called to? I say to call to go into that space right there. Think about what is that story that you're saying to yourself and or to other people. Like, when people ask you about you, or you tell people about yourself, is it based on that past story? You know, is it based on something, you know, are you talking about the part that victimized you, or are you just leaning into the fact of what you gain, like your strengths and or your hobbies, your interests, you know, your goals? You know, those are the things that make you you, not necessarily what has happened to you. What character did you get? I mean, how is your character built? How, you know, how do you flow different because of it? Um, because not everybody needs to know all your details. I mean, seriously, it's some, I mean, not to get to the point of coming into your, you know, your inner circle. That's when those boundaries come up. Everybody don't need to know your biz. Only thing they need to do is see how you flow, you know, and if they, y'all resonate on that, you know, you get to know each other, and then they can, you know, they'll inquire and ask like, how do you float like this, you know, and you can share with them like what it is. But you are not your story. You know, you're not. You're so much more than that, and you can really release that. Spirit is calling you to release it. I mean, everybody do it. I get caught up in that too, you know, talking about the things that have occurred, and you know, and or the way that you testify, you know, because sometimes the way that we give that testimony, you know, could do the same thing. Yeah, grounded action. We always getting groundings, going back into self, staying in touch, staying in tune, getting us, you know, spiritual baths, cleansing, purging, getting out in nature. I have the window open so I can smell the rain. It's rainy and stuff like that. I need to, you know, smell some nature. I was gonna sit out, but it's kind of wet and damp. So yeah, divine protection, cut cords, breakthrough energy. That breakthrough energy right there really feels strong to me, especially when it comes to breaking through that past narrative. Especially when it had, yes, thank you, Spirit. When it had feel, it feels like uh yeah, like has been become like your theme song. You know, almost like the Shaft song, "Who is Man?" You know, whatever. It like it precedes you. It's like a part of who you are, and your story. That incident is not. You know, it's just not. So, star being, guys, answer the call. Time to shine. Yes, you can't. Guy. I mean, and maybe that's a part of it, right? I'm spirit star being guides is what's feeling like to me, because this is on the galactic council, right? So star being guides, maybe, you know, as a way of helping people, you tell the story in a way of where you're the victim but survivor hero at the same time, right? It's like a like I said, it feels passive aggressive, but it's not angry, right? It's almost like happy sad. Like, uh I'm so sad and I've been through so much and I've carried so much burdens, but look at me, I'm on the other side, y'all. And it's happy, ain't the Lord good? You know, it feels like that, where people don't tune into the overcome. They tune into the victim side, and it's almost that garnering and gaining empathy and sympathy from a place that it just doesn't feel high vibrational at the end of the day. Right. It doesn't feel like it's almost like pity, right? And pity and empathy and compassion are not the same thing. That's what I'm feeling. Like the victim part of it is so heavy that by the time you get to the survivor overcome part, people are more sorrowful or pitiful or like that than empathetic and compassionate, and it's like you don't want you don't feel sorry for you, period, because if you are feeling sorry for self, that's not high vibrational. That's not appreciating the most high for bringing you through, right? It's like I said, that's that passive aggressive. Oh, we didn't read this. Light initiation, great teacher awakening, divine magic. Realizing that those things that you went through are initiations, right? Again, you develop the source material for your magic, for to be uh, a co-creator, to help others, to be a teacher, to pass down knowledge by going through circumstances, right? And really being able to sit in a place where you can have, like I said, be unbiased by it. Like I try to dig into the lighter side, like be thankful and grateful that these things happen to me. Like, right, that's a different level when you can be like, and everything, you're not gonna be grateful like this horrible, tragic thing that, violations and things like that. Nobody is can really sit in a point to say that, you know, well, it just depends on you. That can be really, really hard, right, to get to that position. But to be in a place, like I said, when you get to unbiasedness, oh, I just had to make sure my little light was on. Y'all done did that before, then turn the mic on, and we done lost whole messages because y'all couldn't hear me. Just saying. Anyway, um, Spirit said messages of victimhood is not healthy. We testified. That's what we was going. Spirit, thank you for bringing it back. Thank you for bringing it back. Yes, thank you. Uh, Testimony on the other side for really, really, for real, for really, 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 for real. Right? It's like, okay, I can be glad, like, cause well, you know how. They say you're supposed to praise the Most High and be grateful and thankful while you're in the middle of a situation because the Most High is going to bring you out, right? Well, yeah, so like to truly be grateful and thankful and to praise your way through it. Of course, on the other side, you're just gonna keep praising, and then when you sharing it from a place of praise, because you were never a victim in it in the first place, because you knew that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, right? So there's no matter what happened, you knew that the Most High would bring you through it as long as you had breath, right? The breath and yeah, you could get through it. Like mindset is everything. So to change, to really come into that, I'm kept by the Most High. I'm kept by source material feels me like I'm made of everything that's out here in creation. Like literally everything that's in creation, all of that source material is in you. So if you really think like that, like I'm made of the stuff of the universe. Like, of course I'll overcome. Of course I'm immortal. Of course I'll never, there's no such thing. Does, consciousness and all of that change? Yes. Is this vessel going to continue to be animated all the time? No, but my light doesn't go anywhere. My soul doesn't go anywhere. And the material of this vessel doesn't go anywhere. It's contained in creation all the time. So am I held in source all the time? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can never go anywhere away from source. Never, no matter what happens. So I can praise source at all times through no matter what, because I know for sure at the end of the day that no weapon formed can ever prosper. I'll always be with source. Always. I can never be separated ever. And so despite it all, I know that these tears will never win. Ever. And so since I know that, I can praise my way through it, and then I can release that, oh, such and such and such and such and this and that, but this and that, but yeah, and that's passive aggressive. Stand truly in your testimony. Your testimony is not a victim story, it's a testimony. What are you claiming? Spirit said, we got to get that in there. What are you clinging on to? Let it go. Like, seriously, purge it out and let it go. You will feel so much lighter when you get that up out of there. That block, I feel it is right here. It's just like, ooh, break it up. That's not who you are. Your story is not you. Okay? You something else. You came from somewhere else. You just in this vessel experiencing life. And life happens to all of us. You are not your story. You are not your story. You need to let it go. Turn that alarm off. How can you mother yourself? Spirit says, mother yourself. Maybe you need somebody to help, make you feel like you can get through it. Maybe you feel like, somebody, you need support. And if you do need support, it's counseling places, or just if you're telling a victimizing story, it's becoming like a theme in your life. And that's like maybe, you know, how you are identifying as self. Like, this is me and I'm a series of events versus being a person. Then you definitely need to mother you. Like, go in and define what is really you. You are not your story. You are a person. You have interests and you have hobbies and you have goals. You have aspirations. You have a whole mindset to develop. You're not the events that you have survived and breathed through. Like, you're still beating, like those are the events of yesterday. They don't make up who you are, and you are where you're supposed to be at. So even if somebody called you into something and you end up getting with these people and they end up not valuing what you are bringing to the table, or it didn't work out, or whatever the case may be in this situation, and then you go on and find something that you feel is better for you, it's a better fit, or your situation is better. It's almost like being unappreciative when you know it's better, but you're still sitting in the sentiment that I wish I was there, right? You're still not appreciating now in the coming through. So that's why the testimony is passive aggressive. It's really, is not a full testimony. You get to release that and understand that, again, rejection for your protection, putting you divine synchronicity, putting you where you're supposed to be at, giving you the skills and knowledge and abilities that you need in order to operate in the space that you're going. You probably asking for some blessings and some stuff like that. Source has to prepare you to receive what it is that you're looking for. All things that are coming is energetic force. If something's coming towards me, it's pushing whatever that's in front of that towards me as well. This is coming. Force is coming. So whatever is in front of that, whatever I need to be prepared to receive, the intelligence is, like the brilliance. Come on now, y'all. That's why at the end of it, we look back and be like, damn, if this hadn't happened, that hadn't happened, it wouldn't be like this here. Dang, right? We wouldn't be like this here. I'm saying. Source know what they be doing. Let it go. You will be pushing and pulling that energy. Push and pull with your blessings, right? It's not as powerful. I'm just saying. It's not. Because even if you say the words, your guidance is divinely guided. I was just saying the divine syncopates everything. Your place where you're at for a reason. That didn't come through for a reason. You might have only needed to swing through. You know what I mean? Because if they hadn't did what they did, you probably would have sat and stayed. Yep. Bam, transformation. You would have sat and stayed. I was just look. This is my priestess. I love her. Let me get that in there so y'all can see it. Transformation. Transformation. Right? You were called into a space because you had, They saw the value, like, hey, can you come through, swing through? Maybe it didn't work out for whatever case may be, and you moved on, right? And in that moving on, you knew that you was worth more. Hey, I'm moving on, but you still feel a kind of way, even though you moved on to what you contend to be better, and that you're content with, you satisfied with, you good with where you at. But at the same time, you salty about what you saying you ain't salty, oh, but you salty. You got some salt up in there. It ain't, you ain't to balance on that thing. You gotta let it go. Like, eat that little bit of salt, get it out. You know what I mean? Because it's really not giving, and it's keeping you from really sitting in a full place of joy, and just unbiasedness, just evenness, balance. You know what I mean? Polarizing self to balance, releasing that. And when you have those things, like I said, those things that are kind of gunked up in there, it keeps your energy centers from flowing. Excuse me, y'all. It keeps you from flowing. It's like it keeps you from staying in a rhythm, right? Because you have that interruption in there, and you're putting it forth before you, and still speaking it out as if it's like, like it's a trailer to who you are. It ain't your trailer. Some folks have a whole reel. They put it out there. Brand new relationships. You just meeting somebody, and they know your whole history. What you how you done overcame. You know, it's time out for that one, peeps. Yeah, that's another one for us. Yeah, ooh, Spirit just said that. hmm Because we are not our story. Ashe, 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 peeps. We are not our story. Those things are in the past, right? And they are cast in the sea of forgetfulness. But if you keep reliving it every time you introduce you are we talked about, what does just being mean? Just to be you. Are you still the you that you keep introducing people to, that's no longer, that's not this person, is that person that you say that's done came through, but you still introducing people to that person? Why are you introducing people to them, that person in the past? I want to meet you now. I don't want to wait, 7 conversations about your past person and all that past stuff, to get to know you now. If anything, I want to meet you now, and then I'll learn about your past as you learn of whether or not you can trust me with those stories. How about that? How about we flip it? How about you learn how to deal in my space right now? Because, see, I don't want to bond with you over some trauma bond shit. That's what, boom, Spirit. Come on, and we need to release that there, because if we don't, we're going to continue to bond over trauma and past shit. And it's time out for that. We have to bond on a forward projection. Again, rewriting our future. We're going forward with this thing. We are not the past. We are not. You know, hey, source is in us. That collective ingenuity, absolutely. That collective intelligence, yes. This collective love and empathy and compassion, yes, we are connected. I want to unite with you. I want to be in harmony and peace with you. You know, but I can't do that if you telling me about you introducing me to the person 5 years ago. I obviously was attracted to you some kind of way in the now. And if I'm attracted to that negative past energy that you still carrying around, and it's something about me that I'm still carrying around negative past energy. And I, again, look at self, pull in. We need to change our vibration. We need to, Spirit. I know I cannot say that, but I just want the we to understand you are called for good bread. You can't be sitting up there introducing folks to all that. You are not your story. You are not that bio. Let it, no, no, no. We are not, peeps. And if you're under the sound of my voice, think about what it is that you're thinking about right now. What are you intentionally focused on? What are your characteristics? What are your habits, right? And whatever that is who you're being. And if you don't agree with what you're being and it's making you feel a kind of way, then stop doing what you're doing. Take another second. You know what I mean? Just go in and pause. Ask the spirit to come in and reveal to you and show you self. Now, when you ask the spirit to show you self, they're going to bring you tears to reveal that onto you, because they project what's in you that you need to be mindful of, where your adjustments need to be made at. Baby, I'm telling you, adjustments be having to be made, and we have to do that to reach our highest self. You know what I mean? I pray this message resonates with somebody. And then if you're going through this, know that you ain't going through it by yourself. Know that you, especially if you are still telling this narrative, right? Let go of the narrative. You're not your story, right? You're not that. And if you're doing that, then you definitely have the opportunity, because one, you know that you're better off. You're content in your current situation. You know that you're better off, but you still feel a kind of way. And oftentimes when you feel a kind of way about it, it's because, there's some hurt and some pain about that. You probably feel betrayed or lied to or misled, something like that, that you have to kind of unpack and resolve. Right? Continue to dig it up and get it out. Again, we got to change the oil, baby. You got to get that oil change. Get some oil, new oil on you. I'm about to go take my shower and get myself all steamed up. I haven't done none of that. Yeah, literally. I was feeling it. How do we get up and show that we feel? How we going to activate and pull something out today? What we going to focus on? Well, we going to focus on today, changing this here story. I want to meet you, not what you've been through. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I hope this resonates with somebody out there. And yeah, if it helps, take it. If it don't, share it. It might help somebody else. Give a thumbs up. Like the video. Click subscribe. You know the deal. I love y'all. Until the next time. Ashe.